everyone. My name is Chrissy Smith. This is Nine Lives Energy, and together we energize your body from the inside out. Thank you so much for being here with me this Friday evening at 8 p.m. This is what I'm doing these days, studying astrology, making content, and practicing self-care instead of going out to the nightclubs and partying like I used to do. Um, this is my new hobby, and so with that, I'm hoping that this new moon in Virgo can give me a little bit more energy so that I can implement some of those routines that I need to be doing so that I can be organized into my space. And I hope that you are going to be able to do the same thing. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, I want to give you just a little bit of background on this eclipse, and I wrote some notes over here. This is why I had to move this video actually to 8 o'clock because, like my Virgo self, okay, I have some placements in Virgo and I make a lot of content and then I delete a lot of content. And I ended up having to redo this PowerPoint probably 3 or 4 times. And so I ran out of time and I had to push everything back. And like Virgo, everything has to be just perfect, right? And so, one of the things that we need to probably be releasing at this new moon is trying to be perfect at everything, okay? Because Virgo can see all the details, right? And Virgo can probably walk into a room and say, well, that's out of order and that's out of order. And if you have a Virgo friend, they probably will be able to like analyze everything that's going on. If you have an eyelash out, if you have a wrinkle in your shirt, and they pick you apart. And I think that it's because, they're critical on others. Maybe they don't say it, but maybe they say it in their mind because Virgo co-rules Gemini, co-rules Mercury with Gemini, and that is our mind. And so sometimes when we are critical on others, it means that we are critical on ourselves. Speaking of critical, this new moon we are having, and it's going to be about 2 o'clock in the morning, but you'll still be able to see it whenever you wake up in the morning. I would say maybe about 5:45, at least when you're living on the Eastern Hemisphere, like or Eastern part of the United States, like me in North Carolina. This is when I can see this transit. And you'll be able to see Jupiter and Venus over there at the top, and then you will see the moon right below it. So let's look at this real quick. In the nighttime sky, you will be able to see Jupiter first, and then you will be able to see Venus. I think Venus is a little bit brighter right now. Jupiter usually is the brightest one, but because where they are, I'm not going to get into that. They appear different. Then this is where the new moon is going to be transiting. Now, this is where the horizon is, and this is the top of the sky. This is where the sun sets, and this is the bottom of the sky. So when this actually happens at its full maximum potential, it'll be at 2 a.m. and you probably won't be able to see it, but maybe you will be able to feel it and write down some things that maybe you would like to manifest with this new moon. Because new moons are all about bringing in new energy, fresh new ideas, and setting intentions for whatever we want to create next. And full moons are all about releasing, letting go of so that we can make room for whatever it is that we want to bring in next. So, Virgo and the sixth house, they control day to day routines, health, work, habits, pets, anything to do with we have to do this every single day. It controls organization. It controls being very critical, I believe, of our work, or it can be the adverse sometimes where it's like, I'm just going to be a messy person. Okay. So with this new moon, there can be a change in your day to day, change in your routines, change in your work or health habits. So think about what you want to do next. If you are wanting to make a side business, right, and you're wanting to leave that full time job, how would you, being in your dream job, feel? What kind of things would you need to be adding to your routines in order to make that happen? So for me, if I want to be an astrologer, I need to make time for that. I need to make time to study this information. I need to make time to make these PowerPoints, to do these videos, to do the social media stuff. It's something that I love to do, but I have to make time for it. So in order to make time for it, I probably need to be letting go of being so critical and saying everything is perfect and just letting things go, right? And where have we been putting too much energy on things that really aren't serving us? Is it in a relationship? And no matter what you do, that person is still going to treat you like crap. All right. Or no matter how hard you work, you're never going to get recognized. You're never going to get more money, right? So how can we bring more income bringing into ourselves? Your income is your health, right? Because if you don't feel good, you're not going to be able to make an income. So we need to kind of change our wording around money, right? Money can afford us to do a lot of things, but it's really just an exchange of energy, because I love the barter system. And as a former personal trainer, I would personal train and trade out services all the time. Okay. So think about something that maybe you can give to others in order to exchange back. Is it maybe I can clean this for you and you can give me some fresh farm eggs? Or maybe I can help you with this project and you can help me with my project. Okay. So learning how to probably work with others and use your time wisely, because time is money, or time is income. How are we bringing our income into ourselves? Are we eating healthy foods? Right? This transit can be talking about your routines and your health, because Virgo is holistic health. Pisces is medical health. So there could be with some of this information coming out, okay, because we've got a square here to Uranus. Now, anything that is 1 degree or 0 degrees, that is a critical degree, okay? And so this planet, which is about quick change, service to humanity, technology, the future, UFOs, astrology, crypto, um, it also is detachment, okay? But it's also being able to be of service. So this is squaring this transit here. So if Gemini is the sign of communication, social media, and it has Uranus, which is another air sign in its sign. I mean, another planet which is in its air sign. It also is ruled by Aquarius, which is a fellow air sign. And so it's going to be quick. And if Gemini is information, quick information coming out for humanity. All right. And this is squaring the moon, the new moon, and this could be new information coming out that could be uncomfortable, okay? Because Uranus is the uncomfortable planet and it is very electrifying. And so some of these energies that are going on at the moment, we've got a lot of planets in fire and air signs at the moment. And so because of that, it can cause us to feel not grounded, or it can cause us to feel anxious, especially if we are using the phones too much. I know I use my phone a lot, and that is a habit that I'm letting go of as well. So think about how we can be more grounded in our routines, more practical in our routines. And what does that look like? If you are wanting to implement a new health practice, what is that going to be? Do you want to stop smoking? Do you want to start eating better foods? Do you want to get up early and start exercising, right? Because maybe you put on some clothes and we had a little too much fun this summer and now it's time to try to reel things back, okay? So, with this square, as I talked about, there could be a desire to eliminate certain habits because of the shift in your mindset. And it could just be something, that you've been thinking about for a while, or it could be something that is an issue and it is time to let it go. Okay. So there could be some realizations that you've had, that maybe if you want to do this thing over here, then we got to make some changes with our routines, right? Because we're never going to get to that goal if we aren't doing the practical steps to get there. It could be cleaning your house. It could be organizing, being in that Virgo. Maybe it is the thoughts that you tell yourself, right? And if we tell ourselves that we aren't going to make it or it's too hard, then guess what? We're going to have more experiences where that is going to be too hard. I love this little thing right here. Let me pull this down so you guys can see. All right, so this is something that I like to have by me, and it's a little cat, and he's looking into the mirror and he sees a lion. So, what matters most is how you see yourself. So, if you see yourself as being this business owner, what type of routines would that business owner have in order to be successful? Now, it may not look like what it will in the future, Uranus, okay? But it is going to get there eventually by you taking practical steps, Virgo, in order to get there, okay? So let's bring that back up to the stage. I love that that little meme and the little cat looking into the mirror and seeing the lion. So Pisces, a good astrological remedy for this transit is to work with the opposite sign. And the opposite sign of Virgo is Pisces. And Pisces is spirituality. Pisces is behind the scenes work. It's our subconscious behaviors. It's illusory behaviors. It is being in front of the screens. Are you using, your phone too much? Are you sitting behind a computer too much and you're not grounding your body? So remember, if you're feeling off, it could be that maybe you're connecting too much to the internet and not connecting too much to the internet and your spirituality and your subconscious behaviors. Like, ask yourself, you know, why do you do the things that you do? Why do you have the thoughts that you have? Why do you have the relationships that you have? Why do you have the job that you have? Why do we have the behaviors that we have? And a lot of people, they don't want to ask themselves those questions. But with this eclipse coming up on September 7th, and then we're having another one at the end of the month in September, like there is going to be a lot of chaos probably, or it's going to be a little bit harder, let's say, to get into our routines if we aren't trying to make time for those things that we want to implement and we aren't looking at our health, because your health is your wealth, folks. And that is going to be a huge um, theme for the next year, because we have the nodes on the health axis of Virgo and Pisces. And I did a video about this whenever this transit happens. So make sure you check that out on my playlist for the astrology chats that I have on my channel, Nine Lives Energy. All right. So the last thing I want to tell you guys is practicality is Virgo and escapism is Pisces. So we don't want to be escaping this weekend. We want to face the challenge head on. And as uncomfortable as you feel like it is, you are being divinely supported by all these outer planets right here to make that shift, to make that move. And, you might be having certain thoughts or dreams, or maybe you just don't want to do that thing anymore and you don't know why. You are being divinely guided to step into doing something else, or to make that shift, either in your mind or your habits, your routine, with that job, with that relationship, with yourself. Okay, maybe with your home, maybe you got to clean the home. You know, as soon as I say something about, like, okay, we need to try to work on this, you know what it is, right? But if we don't know what that is, then we are escaping, okay? When we see the challenge, we're like, well, I'm going to work on that later. I'm going to procrastinate a little bit, and I'm just going to stay on TikTok and scroll for the next hour and give my energy to something else. Let this consume my energy instead of create on the phone or create doing something else. Whatever you give your energy to, or whatever you give your attention to, that's what's going to keep growing. So if you keep having negative thoughts, negative things are still going to happen to you. Okay. So we can look at the glass half full, or we can look at the glass half empty. And we can tell ourselves that we have positive relationships and we have supportive friends and that we have good health habits and that we feel good in our bodies. Because if we feel good in our bodies, we're going to be able to be that good parent. We're going to be able to be that good child. We're going to be able to be in our gifts because we're going to feel like doing it. Okay. So this is the astrological forecast for the collective and the outer planets that are helping you right here. And they're all at critical degrees. Remember, 0 and 1. And we have these planets in retrograde as well, which also is making it a little bit more intense. The only one that isn't in retrograde right now is Uranus, and Uranus is about quick change, right? So he's leading the show. And we have Saturn and Neptune here almost in a conjunction, but their big conjunction is going to be next year in February. So this blue line here is a positive aspect, okay? You are being lifted up. Whoops. You are being lifted up, okay, by the North Node, by Saturn, which is Granddaddy Saturn, our career, hard work, our lessons, our karma. And then we have Neptune, which is another outer planet, which is about spirituality and our subconscious. And then we have Uranus here, which is about our future. And then we have Pluto here, which is trying to rebirth whatever it is that you have going on in your life that you need to step into so that you can be doing whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing. Okay. This is a really awesome energy, and we're going to be having this for a while, folks. So if you've been thinking about that thing that you need to do, bringing in that routine that you need to so that you can have the life you want, you're being supported. All right, we are getting ready to get into our signs, and we are going to start with our Aries first. But before we do that, I just wanted to take a quick, I guess, note to let you know that we all have 4 elements in our charts, right? And however we show up can express ourselves in either water like energy, air, earth, or fire. And just because you aren't an Aries doesn't mean that you can't have any fire in your chart, okay? So by looking at these transits, we are having this new moon in Earth, an Earth sign, okay? So if you are an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius, then you are having this full moon in Earth. So that means that being out in the earth is probably going to help you deal with some of these frequencies the most. Drinking good water, eating good foods, being in nature, um, playing with your pets, doing things that you feel is grounding for you, whatever that is. Not being on the TV, okay? That's not earth. That's something that is man made. You see what I'm saying? Okay. Now, our earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, you are having this in fire houses. So that means that you need to be taking actionary steps to do whatever it is that you need to do. Maybe cleaning, maybe organizing, maybe exercising, maybe getting outside and getting some sunshine, maybe sitting by a fire and doing maybe a new moon ceremony where you write out what you want to release and you call in what you want and you throw it into the fire, or you burn whatever it is that you're trying to let go of. Our air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, you're going to be having this in the water houses. So the water is our emotions. Okay. So you could be feeling a little bit more emotional. It would be good for you to drink more water. It would be good for you to tap into our emotions. And water and earth work real well together. So being outside around nature or being around the ocean could also be a benefit to you, or listening to water. That could also help you during this transit as well. And then our water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, you are having this in the element of air houses. So this is about speaking, communication, listening. Maybe going to a sound healing would be good for you, or speaking to a friend about maybe something that's been going on. Okay. Excuse me, I had to take a little drink of water. So for the collective, because this isn't, what is it? Earth, we need to be doing actionary steps. all right, around doing the things that we want to do, the practicality to, so taking practical steps and thinking about what you want to experience next. Being active outside can help everybody during this time, and getting in some of that last little bit of sunshine before we hit the fall, whenever the sun goes into its fall position in Libra. And being outside can also help you calm your mind, because with all these outer planets, which control the collective in fire and air signs, it can make us feel a little bit more anxious, a little bit more overwhelmed. If you're feeling like that, step away from the phone and go outside. I promise you, it can do wonders for you. Or just get a crystal, all right, or a rock or a stick, and hold that. Hug a tree. It'll make you happy. All right, here we go, Aries. Sorry for the exit ramp, and I had to come back on. So you are having this astrological transit in an earth house of the sixth house. So this is about our day-to-day routines, our work habits, our health habits. Maybe this is a good time for you to maybe get a checkup to see if there's anything wrong, and what actionary steps can you practically take in order to be a little bit more healthy. Are you working too much? Are you, I'm an Aries. Something that I'm not practical with is it has to be perfect. And so, because of that, I end up spending a lot of time trying to recreate things that were okay to begin with. They were good enough, right? And sometimes we need to remember that our good enough is someone's best. So there could be a letting go of work habits that no longer serve, in order to implement the things that you want to do. Also, telling yourself good affirmations. For example, something that I do as a mantra: if I want to do something, I think about, well, what types of attributes does that specific thing need? Right? Discipline, organization, creativity, right? So telling yourselves, maybe a part of your routine is you get up in the morning and you say, I am creative, I am disciplined, I am organized. And maybe you say that as you're making up your bed, right? Because Virgo likes things to be neat and organized so we can think. And if things are all cluttery, we don't know how to think, we don't know how to move. So, cleaning out your space can definitely help your mind. If you're looking at a lot of clutter, sometimes we just end up not even seeing it anymore because we don't want to look at it. It's become too overwhelming. But starting little bit by little bit, cleaning out maybe some computer files, cleaning out files on your phone, cleaning out a closet. Virgo, likes to dress nice. Everything is in a specific place. Makeup, right? Maybe doing something with your makeup or cleaning out a garage. Okay, you are having these divine aspects affecting your mind, affecting your identity, and also your service to humanity. So maybe you want to be working on some routines, about some new habits that you want to have so you can be more of service. So, Aries, if you got something out of this, let me know in the comments below. And if you would like a more personalized reading, please check me out in the description box below. My information is there, and I would love to help you understand your birth chart and see how some of these astrological transits would be affecting you most personally. Happy new moon in Virgo, Aries. All right, Taurus, you are having this transit in your fifth house of fun, creation, children, play, entertainment. We call this the fun house, okay? So changing our routines does not always have to be yucky, okay? But we want to think about, how can we have more fun in our life? How can we have more fun? Maybe it's we need to save a little bit more money so we can have more fun. Have we been spending too much money? Or have we been hoarding too much money, Taurus? Right? Because we like to save, 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 save because we may think that something's going to happen, right? So if that is you, maybe this is a good time for you to treat yourself to something good. Okay. How can we implement more fun into our lives? Are we trying to be a control freak? All right, with how we have fun? Are we trying to be a control freak maybe with our children? And we're not letting them be children, or everything has to be too organized and there has to be too much structure. Let it go. It does not have to be perfect, Virgo. Okay. We all have all these transits in our charts, right? We are all the signs, and how we show up is different expressions allows us to be more individualized, and that is based upon our unique birth signature, right? Well, it shows up in how we create and our personality and the things that we love. So I would suggest to you to have more fun for this new moon. How can we implement more fun so that we're not just working all the time? And it doesn't have to be much. Maybe it's, instead of working on my lunch break, I'm going to go take a walk on my lunch break so I can get away from the screens. Pisces, getting away from the screens. So you are having the outer planets affecting you in your second house of resources, which is what you control. Right, that's what you govern, is the second house of what we value. And Venus is your ruler. And so you like to value beautiful things, and you think that the world is beautiful and you want to be beautiful in it. You have the Saturn and Neptune going over your subconscious. And then you have Pluto, which is going to be transiting over your career house for the next 20 years. So there could be some shifts in your career. And maybe, let's ask ourselves, does this career bring us value anymore? Or why do we still have this job? Okay. We may not want to have that job anymore because we don't have fun there anymore. Okay. And since this is the fun house, we need to make sure that we're having fun, not only in our personal lives, but, in our day to day routines, right? Making exercise fun, making activity fun. It doesn't have to be, well, I have to go and lift these weights. If that doesn't align with you, go walk outside. It's beautiful until, it gets a little cooler depending on where you live. But, some people, they love all the seasons. You are nature, you are earth. Go outside and enjoy the earth. It will definitely help you get the clarity, the mental clarity that you need in order to have more fun in your life and to have more fun at work, or to have that creative idea that you need so that you can do maybe something else different, right? Bringing something else new in how the world sees you and possibly what your career is. All right, Taurus, if you got something out of this, make sure that you like this video and share it with another fellow Taurus. Comment below how you would like to manifest something new into your life for this new moon. And for a more personalized reading, please hit me up in the description box below. My contact information is there, and I would love to share with you about how these transits will be affecting you most personally. Happy new moon in Virgo, Taurus. All right, my lovely Geminis, with your quick, fun, smile energy, you are having this new moon transit in your fourth house of home. So this would be a excellent time for you to be cleaning out the home, organizing the home, um, maybe trying on those clothes that you think are going to fit one day, but they don't. No, 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 no. Get rid of it. If you haven't worn it in a long time, and you can't fit into it anymore, make room for something else. Okay, make room for something else in the home. Maybe if you are single, calling in somebody else into the home. Okay, because you have this awesome transit coming up here for higher mind, higher learning, and also connection to others, and how you are serving humanity. And also this is transiting your first house of identity as well. Okay, so how do you want to show up in the collective? How do you want to show up to your friends and to your family and to the outside world? Maybe this is a good time for you to be learning something new. And maybe how can we learn something new in the home? There could be education going on in the home, possibly. Um, Holistic practices going on in the home. This would be a really good time to feng shui your home. If you don't know what feng shui is, I do have a video that I made a long time ago. So just type in Nine Lives Energy feng shui your space, and that will pop up. I'm thinking about doing another video for that because it's something that has definitely helped me. So if you're into crystal grids and things like that, maybe finding some crystals that resonate with you and put them at different places of your home or carrying them with you and holding on to them. Maybe rose quartz will be excellent because if you're having some tension here in the home, rose quartz is a good one for the home and getting the nurturing that you need, especially if maybe you didn't get it as a child. I love rose quartz. It's a very healing crystal. There could be a letting go of things in the home. So, like cleaning out things that you no longer need, organizing a closet, organizing routines in the home. Like, what time do you get up, Gemini? Are we getting up early? Are we getting up at the last minute and now, we're frantic all day long? I can't tell you enough to ground, 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 because there's a lot of air and fire energy going on at the moment. And you, along with all the other air signs and the fire signs, probably feel like this angst. And so, by being in your groundedness, can help you. So, not escaping, facing the challenge head on. And if you need to take a break, how are we taking a break? Are we taking a break by self sabotaging, drinking, smoking too much, not doing our work? Or are we taking scrolling too much on TikTok and things like that, zoning out on YouTube? You can get the information that you need because you control information by being outside in nature, and you can feel the support that you're looking for when we ground to the earth. I would definitely stay away from caffeine at this time because caffeine can kind of make these energies a little bit more electric for you. So I would recommend finding a supplement. I have eliminated coffee. I have a lot of Gemini in my chart. I used to be addicted to coffee because I got up at dark 30. Okay. But we need to get in a better practice of when we get up. And are you breathing? Because Gemini's the lungs. Breathing in the morning outside in nature just for a few minutes. It don't have to be, some 30-minute, meditation outside. If you got time for that, great. But an astrological remedy for you would to be get grounded in the morning, breathing, holding crystals, doing a prayer, something that's going to set your mind. Gemini, Virgo, y'all both control Mercury, which is the mind, that can help you feel better in your body during this time. All right. You are being supported to um, be of service a different way. Okay. So, whatever that is, the information is going to be able to come to you if we ground ourselves and not try to keep ourselves so busy that we don't see um, the answers that are trying to come to us. Okay. All right, Gemini, let me know how you are doing. And in the comments below, please leave me a message about where you would like to manifest in your life the most within the home. And if you would like a more personalized reading, please hit me up in the description box below. I would love to show you the magic of your birth chart and show you how some of these astrological transits are going to be affecting you most personally coming up. Thanks so much, Gemini. Hello, Cancer. How are you? Our first water sign in the zodiac wheel. You are having this astrological transit in your third house of communication, the mind, short distance travel, siblings. I think Mercury, um, I'm sorry, let me back up again. Mercury controls the third house and also the sixth house. So you could be feeling this just a little bit more because you could be in your mind a little bit more. A good astrological remedy for you at this time would be to clean the house, to organize things, maybe organize files on your computer, organize files maybe in your house, maybe finding a different way to work, maybe learning something different. on social media on how to work with something like that, you are being definitely supported right now, Cancer, with a lot of these air trines and this sextile right here with your subconscious behaviors and why you do the things that you do. And this is also the house of endings. So there could be an ending of some subconscious patterns that you had related to work. Okay. But the transformation, okay, and the rebirth is coming. Okay. But we have to be good in our mind in order to have that come to us. If we are telling ourselves, because Gemini is the mind, and this is the third house of the mind, Mercury Gemini and Virgo both co rule Mercury. A good astrological remedy for you would be, what types of things do you tell yourself? What subconscious behaviors do you have? Do you tell yourself, well, I'm always going to be poor, or I don't have the money, or no one likes me? Okay, let's turn it around. We can be bringing more of what we want into our lives if we do that mindset shift. Okay, so there could be a change in whatever you are detoxing from, maybe an old belief system, because beliefs is the ninth house, but beliefs is also our 12th house, which is our subconscious beliefs and uh, things that are hidden behind the scenes. So there could be some information coming out that may not be fun. And so, a good astrological remedy for us at this time would be to tell ourselves good thoughts, that everything is going to be okay. And what can I do in order to have practical steps so that everybody can get along? Because Cancer, you are the nurturers, right? And you, along with Virgo, the motherly type energies, they like to control. Okay, all the signs, we have our positive aspects and we have our adverse aspects, right? And nobody's perfect, but let's think about maybe some letting go of things that maybe no longer serve us, maybe with our siblings or with how we communicate. If you think that, well, I don't know how to use social media, so I'm not going to use social media. That probably isn't a good thing to be doing, okay? A good astrological remedy is to possibly be going outside if you do have phone addiction, because we have Uranus here, which is doing some quick changes here, okay? And you have Gemini in the house of illusory behaviors and subconscious patterns. So there could be a tendency for you to um, maybe believe certain things that you find out that are no longer true. There is a huge, excuse me, I don't mean to cough. There's going to be a huge shift with the information, as I mentioned earlier at the previous part of this video. If you missed that, please back up, because this is probably going to be affecting you in the detoxification of being too much on the screens, because maybe this is affecting your work habits, or maybe learning something new with screens so that you can have that rebirth of your career that you want. Okay. And if we don't want to be on the computer, and that is part of how people are going to get to know you in your house of career, then we need to be learning how to do that. Okay. But some of this energy can make you feel kind of wonky. So I'm not saying stay on the phone constantly. Okay. But how are we using our phone? Are we using our phone to escape? Okay. Or are we doing things to escape instead of dealing with the practical things that we need to? Using the phone to create, not using the phone to escape. Okay. All right. If you got something out of this video, Cancer, make sure that you like this video and share it with a fellow Cancer if you so desire. Leave me a comment below about what your manifestation is for this new moon, because this is the mind for you. Okay. So manifest whatever it is in your mind, because it starts in the mind when we believe that we can do it, and then we actually can, right? Impossible is spelled I'm possible. Okay. If you would like a personalized reading, please hit me up in the description box below. I would love to hear from you and see how these transits could be affecting you most personally. Thanks so much, Cancer. Happy new moon in Virgo. All right, Leo, you are having this transit in your second house of resources and the things that we value. So there could be some tension points around possibly your friendships and how you are of service to humanity, and also possibly learning something new along with relationships coming into your life. So relationships that you could possibly see as value to yourself. Okay. Um, being outside in nature is a good astrological remedy. You are a fire sign, you are ruled by the sun. So, you, along with Cancer, whenever the moon or the sun have a transit, which is every 2 weeks, then you need to be paying attention. All right. Wherever the sun goes, you need to go. So, right now it is in Virgo, which is about our practicality. Summertime is over. I hate to tell you that. I know that you love to celebrate in the sun, but it's time to get some practical steps. And, we have all these manifestations that we want to do. You're so creative, Leo, right? And how can we be more practical with our time? Our time is our income, right? So if you missed the first part of this video, please back up and watch that. It's not just money, right? It's what can you bring into your life for income? What relationships maybe can you align yourself with so we can bring more resources into our lives, right? It doesn't have to look like what it used to look like. And with Uranus just going over your 10th house of career, you could have had some shifts in your career, and maybe the career doesn't align with you anymore. So it's getting ready to go back into Taurus, but then it's going to shift back into Gemini. So now is a time to make the practical steps that you need to. What is it that you value? How you spend your time is how you spend your energy, is how you spend your income, right? So if you're spending your income and investing in yourself, right? How do you invest in yourself, Leo? Do you work too much, right? Because Leos like to work a lot. Okay. They like to work a lot, just like Capricorns and just like Aquarius, I feel. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You can be having a release of perfectionism that you no longer value being perfect. You value authenticity, right? And, I'm a Leo rising, and I chose to make this video live tonight instead of, well, it's not perfect, and let me re record it and re record it and re record it until it is. Yes, I did this on the PowerPoint tonight. I am guilty. I'm learning to let that go as well and saying this out to the public. None of us are perfect, right? So this is at a critical degree for you. And this is going to be going to 29 degrees at the end of this transit here in about a month. So this is a excellent, excellent time for you to be grounded in your energy, taking breaks from the phone. Okay. Maybe connecting with others and making routines to have those people in your life so that we can have relationships with those people in order to um, bring both people up, right? Because with this transit here, with service to humanity, and how can I use my higher consciousness and higher mind to bring in the relationships that I want so I can be more of service with my authentic expression. All right, Leo, if you got something out of this, make sure that you like this video, share it with another Leo. And if you would like a personalized reading, please visit the link below and you can make an appointment and comment how you would like to manifest whatever it is that you desire into your life for this new moon in Virgo. Happy new moon in Virgo, Leo. Virgo, welcome to your new moon in your sign times 2 this season. We're going to be having a second one in your sign at the end of the month. Not the end of the month. It's already the end of the month. It's going to be in September. I'm sorry. I'm wiped out. I've been in my Virgo too much today and trying to be perfect. So there could be a letting go, Virgo, all right, of perfectionism, of an old identity, right? And how you want to show up to the world. An astrological remedy for you would be to clean, to organize, to maybe get a new aesthetic. You are all about the details, right? But let's try to use that energy and be detailed about something else. What is that going to be? Right. Do you want to be detailed with your clothes and you want to have a new aesthetic, or maybe you want to be detailed with your work habits? Okay. So, this is an excellent time to be cleaning out some things, organizing, a good time for you to be looking at your health habits. Do they need some improvement? Or are some of those health habits that we have around our mind and the stories that we tell ourselves? Do you know that you need to clean up that space, but we don't? Do you know you need to quit that habit, but we don't? And you're like, well, I'll do it tomorrow. Well, I'll do it tomorrow. Well, tomorrow is here. Okay. And in order to make room for these new things that are trying to come in, we need to be prepared because you, just like Taurus, all right, are having Uranus going over your house of career. So, in order to be bringing in more of the income that we want in our life, or more of the abundance that we want into our life, we got to make room for it, Virgo. All right. And you are being supported in your career and also with transformation and your habits. So, how can we transform our day to day routine so that we can have the career that we want? Okay. And if your career is not aligning with you, maybe we need to think about in our mind how we can exit out, or how we can make more time for the new career that we want as we let the old one go. Okay. So, a good astrological remedy for you would be to get outside or to take actionary steps around doing the things that you need to do. You're having this in a firehouse, okay? So maybe there needs to be a release of some type of um, relationship that you had that no longer serves, and maybe this person hurt you. Maybe writing that information down and then burning it with a candle so that you can bring more positive relationships in. Instead of saying, I want this relationship to work out, say, I want supportive and positive relationships. All right. Because that relationship that you have may not be serving you and you need to let it go. And this can be a relationship with a person, a relationship with a job, a relationship with a habit. Okay. Virgo, you can have good habits or bad habits. We all can. Okay. But let's not be so critical on everybody else, and let's not be so critical on ourselves, and give ourselves some grace, right? It's okay to make mistakes, but how are we learning from those mistakes? And also looking at your relationship to the screens, looking at the relationship to your health. That can also be a good astrological remedy for you. So please back up to the beginning of this video to get more information and insights that I shared for the collective, because this is your new moon, okay? All right, Virgo, if you got something out of this, make sure that you hit the like button and share with another Virgo, and comment below what manifestation you would like to bring forward for this new moon, what you would like to call in. And in the comments below is my link to make an appointment with me. So I look forward to seeing you in a personalized appointment if that resonates. Thanks so much, Virgo. All right. Well, we are going to bring up Mr. Jinx now that we've gotten to Libra. Come here. He thinks he is the star of the show. He hears me talking and he thinks that I'm not paying him any attention. All right, we're halfway through, so I see you, buddy. I see you. We'll come back in a second. This is Jinx. This is my relationship, my buddy. He turns 6 in November. He is a Scorpio, and he loves his home. Yes, he does. And he is very mean. Yep, he is. And he got out today, so he had to have his free range walk all by himself. So if you like cats, follow him on Saturdays with Jinko. I this is how I started this this channel because he gave me the inspiration to do so. All right, Libra, you are having this in the 12th house of subconscious behaviors and the screens. So maybe taking breaks from your screens and getting outside in earth. You are an air sign, so the air signs and the fire signs are definitely feeling that electric energy. So if you're feeling overwhelmed in your mind, all right, this would be a good time for you to be cleaning up and organizing um, your workspace, your day to day, your routines. Also, taking a look at why do we have the habits that we have? Okay. What subconscious behaviors do we have that cause us to have that work habit, that health habit, that day to day habit? Okay. That organization or lack thereof. All right. So this could be an opportunity for you to clean up some things. That is very grounding for you in order to do that. Plus, it's working with your opposite sign of fire so that you can make those actionary steps. Also, it would be good time for you to possibly walk outside in nature because that could give you possibly some downloads that you are looking to get or some answers. This is the house of spirituality and endings. So there could be an ending of um, just some endings, especially maybe around the way you think, around the habits that you have, an ending of I'm not going to be this person anymore. I don't look at relationships like this anymore because you are the sign of relationships. And you are having some positive aspects between a fellow air sign of Gemini with Uranus there. So there's going to be some up leveling and of how you take in information and maybe learning something new and possibly using that information in a career. Um, you are having your relationship house, which is one that you control, being highlighted, and also the house of fun. So, how can we have fun in our relationships to learn something new, or maybe learning, or maybe in a you're traveling, okay, to a place and you meet somebody that you want to have fun with. That could be a good astrological remedy for you. Um, there could be a revisiting of, you know what, these relationships, they aren't fun to me anymore because they don't challenge my mind anymore. Okay. And there could be a letting go of some of those relationships, but not in a bad way, because Libra, you're the balancer, right? But maybe there's a letting go of you don't have to be the balancer anymore in relationships. You don't have to put yourself last anymore. You can stand up for that person that you want to be. Okay. That's what that whole transit and with the eclipses in yours and Aries signs was all about. Letting go of relationships, letting go of things that no longer serve you so that you can step into more of who you were here to be. So there's just a little shift in your mindset. So grounding outside could be really beneficial to you at this time. And getting off of the screens. All right. Any air sign needs to be getting off the screens right now and connecting to nature. So go out and look at the stars, and hopefully you can be empowered when you go to see this transit real early in the morning or the tail end of it. Depending on where you are in the world, at 2 a.m. is when this is supposed to be happening on the east coast of the United States. What else do I have for you, Libra? Yeah, having fun with communication. Okay, you're the communicator. You should be a good communicator, but you don't have to take on everybody's crap in order to have everything balanced while you suffer. Okay, so You're telling yourself good stories. All right. Tell yourself good stories because you deserve to be happy too. Okay. All right. If you got something out of this Libra, let me know and comment below how you wish to manifest for this new moon in your 12th house. Before we get off of here, dreams. You could be having some dreams. So pay attention to those. Okay. And that's it. All right. So comment below how you wish to manifest for this new moon. And if for a more personalized reading, hit me up in the description box below. I would love to show you how some of these astrological transits could be affecting you most personally. Thanks so much. All right. Moving on to Scorpio. Man, I've been on here for an hour already. It's going to be another hour, probably. Probably not. Probably 30 minutes. All right, Scorpio, you are having this new moon in the house of service to humanity, technology, the future, friendships, far off distance travel, um, like minded community. So there could be a calling in of what do you want to do next for being service to humanity, or what friendships can we call in. So there could be possibly a letting go of maybe technology that no longer serves you. There could be a possibility of using technology to create something. So, how can we maybe use technology, or how can we create something that is more grounding for us with our friendships or how we serve people? Um, it's also a good time to possibly clean up technology. Is there a computer that you have at home or a phone that maybe you need to kind of clean up and organize? Maybe you need to organize your friendships. Maybe you need to organize a trip. Okay. So being organized in your friendships, being in healthy with your friendships. How are your friendships? Are they healthy? Are they not healthy? Um, there could be a letting go of how you used to work by being of service to others and also being detached. And you are being supported by transforming your home and your habits. So, by transforming your home and transforming your habits, you can learn how to be more of service or to find the friendships that you want to come in. If your home is all dirty, we can't have friends come over. Or maybe you want to clean out the house, organize the house, be in better routines so that we can have our friends come and visit us. Okay. There's a transformation that is going on there. This really isn't this isn't a bad moon for anybody, really. This is really good moon for setting intentions for the future because this is the house of the future. And what do you want to do next, Scorpio? How can we be more of service? How can we live more into what we came here to do by stepping in more into our gifts? Okay. So if you got something out of this, Scorpio, let me know. Hit me up for a more personalized reading in the description box below and comment below how you would like to manifest for this new moon as it transits over your 11th house of the future. What future plans do you have? Are we living in our future? Are we telling ourselves that we can have those things, right? Um, and if we aren't in good routines with how we are trying to bring those new things in, then we might want to take a look at that. Okay. All right, Scorpio. Thanks so much. Happy new moon in Virgo. Hello, Sagittarius. You are having this new moon in the 10th house, and the 10th house is an earth sign. So, uh, Earth is probably going to help you feel a little bit more grounded with this energy because the fire houses and the air signs or fire signs and the air signs are kind of feeling that angst. So, being outside in nature could definitely help you during this time. And you are having this transit going over your career and how you want to organize your routines in your career. There could be a letting go of jobs that no longer serve or outdated routines and how you work. I know that it took me a little bit to make this video tonight, and it was because I live too much in that Virgo experience, and everything has to be perfect and detailed oriented, okay? And so, a letting go of that because that's wasting too much energy, and we need to be putting our energy into something else. So, a good astrological remedy for you probably would be to clean up the home or to get a little bit more organized in how you want to possibly work from home one day. How does that look? Okay, if we have this job that we don't like, how can we call in um, maybe things that will help us manifest being able to work from home or to have that job that we really love that resonates with us when we're living from our heart? You are having some divine support from the outer planets with our relationships and our how we create and have fun and in our mind. So, um, a good astrological remedy for you is in your mind. All right. What are the stories that you tell yourself and how you create? And will those bring in relationships that are going to help you do this next career that you want to do? Okay. So the stories that we tell ourselves come true. If you tell yourself, like, well, it's always got to be like this at work, so therefore it is supposed to be like this at work. Sagittarius is very open minded, right? But in the adverse aspects of Sagittarius, it can be just the opposite, where they have these beliefs, and these beliefs are it. Like, I believe that I have to have this job in order to do whatever it is, right? That's not true, okay? You can have whatever job that you want to, Sagittarius, and you are the one who controls higher mind, higher learning, expansion of and higher information, and travel. So be in your Sagittarius, okay? But be open minded by letting new things come in. And sometimes, Sagittarius, we can be so much out here and we need to be more grounded. All right. So maybe take you some crystals to work, or maybe walk at work could. Especially if you're confined to a computer all day, that would probably hurt Sagittarius's heart a lot if they didn't get a chance to be outside and get that energy out. Okay. So that would be a good astrological remedy for you, is to be outside, because it could kind of help ground you and maybe get you the information that you need in your mind so that you can be creative. If you have had a little block, or maybe you don't have a block anymore, now it's like, let's go. All right. Instead of let's just go and we have no organization, how can we take practical steps to organize all these creative things that we can do, right? And having a good relationship with the stories that we tell ourselves, like, I am organized, I am creative, I am disciplined. Because if this is the mind, which controls um, Mercury controls Virgo and also Gemini, and you've got that square there, we got to tell ourselves the opposite, okay? I am organized. I have good routines. And as you're making up your bed in the morning, or as you're doing that, say those things to yourself that you need in order to make that shift that you need to call in more fun at work, right? To call more fun into your mind, more fun into how you create and the relationships that you bring into your life, okay? All right, Sagittarius, if you got something out of this, let me know in the comments below. How do you wish to manifest in this new moon in your house of career? And make sure that you like this video and share it with somebody if you did. And if for a more personalized reading, please hit me up in the description box below. My contact information is there. Thanks so much, Sagittarius, and happy new moon in your 10th house of Virgo. All right, Capricorn, you are having this in the fire house, the ninth house of higher mind, higher learning, expansion, um, learning new things. This is almost like learning higher information. And then the opposite sign down here is learning elementary type information, or teenagers or high school. This is like college. This is also about traveling as well. So there could be a letting go of our beliefs because the ninth house is our beliefs. So the stories that we tell ourselves become true. Okay. So even though we are earth beings, part of our being is being in our mind. And if we are too much in our mind and we're not actually letting it go in other ways, it can cause disease. Okay. So there could be some information possibly coming out that could challenge your beliefs. And why do you believe the things that you do? I said this to another sign, and I forgot which one it was that has that in their 12th house of their mind, and also the third house. So think about what it is maybe that you want to learn next. Like, how are we using our mind? Are we using our mind to escape? Or are we using our mind to do something spiritual? Because the opposite of this is Pisces. So you can be very spiritual in your mind, okay? Um, and everything doesn't have to be such a traumatic ending either, but we don't necessarily have to look at everything at face value, right? Have there been some things that we've been illusioned by? Is it a relationship that we've been illusioned by? Is it a work commitment that we have been illusioned by? Is it maybe a habit that we have been illusioned by? So, how do we talk to ourselves? You could be having downloads, especially maybe when you go outside in nature and being active in nature. That could definitely help you, whether it's working with plants or mowing the grass or walking in nature. Doing something that is grounding with earth or crystals definitely could help you during this time. um, and just being active, period. Because Capricorn is an earth sign, along with Virgo, along with Taurus. And sometimes we don't like to move that much. But moving by dancing would be good, or running or walking outside in nature is a real good astrological remedy for you. Now, you are being divinely supported by the universe during these outer transits that I discussed earlier, in what it is that you value, your home, and also your habits. So, what do you value in the home, and how are your habits? And is what you value supportive of that? Okay. So, that is going to be a theme for you for a little bit. Okay. So, making sure that our routines align with what it is that we value. And also, let's not be looking too much at the screens for information. Okay, there could be a lot of information coming out, and not being so fixed in how we view things, and being more open minded about new information coming in, because there could be some health information coming out right here in the future. And maybe this could challenge your mind in some way. And so, if it does, like, what can we do in order to prepare for that, or to help with that? And so, a good astrological remedy is good health practices. And good health practices are grounding and being active outside in nature, and not being on the screens too much. Okay. And because sometimes everything on the internet is not true. And sometimes we find out that that isn't true. And how's that going to make us feel? All right. So, Capricorn, if you would like a more personalized reading, please hit me up in the description box below. If you got something out of this, please like and share this video, and comment below, what belief are you trying to bring in? What new information are you wanting to call in? And in order to bring whatever it is that you value in your home and in your routines more into being. Thanks so much, Capricorn. Happy new moon in your fellow earth sign of Virgo. Aquarius, how are you doing? You are definitely having some shifts with Pluto just entering your sign for the next 20 years of identity and how you show up in the world. And you are having this new moon in your eighth house of detoxification, transformation, rebirth, hidden monies, the occult. So, this could be a good time for you to look at your habits, Aquarius. How are your habits? Do you need to detox for some things? Are you on the phone too much? Right? Aquarius is the future and technology and future information. And so a lot of future information is on the phone, right? And our apps and social media. And a lot of people, we look at this before we look at television. Or maybe we're looking too much at our computer. So maybe there needs to be a detoxification of spending too much time behind the screens. You have an opposition here with the second house of what you value. What do you value? Um, and Pisces here is valuing the screens, valuing spirituality, that which is not of this world, right? And escapism. So it is not a good time to be escaping. There could be some hard truths coming to the surface about phone addictions or our addictions, period, or our health habits. And we need to be releasing those and detoxifying from those and letting those go so that we can bring in some new things. Okay. There could be some new hidden monies coming in, perhaps from possibly being behind the screens and doing Virgo type work, which is our day to day, our routine. So, a detoxification of our routines, a detoxification of organization and our mind and our day to day and how we do things. Or there could be a new income stream coming in by working on the screens because we have had good habits. So, how do your habits align with how you bring your income in? Okay. Um, and if they don't align, if you are spending too much time being on the phone and being a consumer versus being a creator, that's a problem, right? That's something that you need to look at. And that is going to be an ongoing thing for you, probably for the next 20 years. Okay. Is what am I too much into technology that I am detached from myself, from what I need to be doing, or from others? Okay. So you're having these divine um, outer planets, our outermost planets, affecting you in your first house of identity and how you show up in the world. It's affecting your mind and how we deal with our siblings and communication. Communication can be online. Communication can be speaking, thinking, writing, journaling. Um, it is also affecting your fifth house of having fun. So, how do we have fun with um, our community? Right? Because you are community. You're we the people. You're service to humanity. I know it doesn't feel like that sometimes, Aquarius, because we can be very detached and we don't want to tell people how we feel. But that is probably something that would be good for you is to let that shit go. Okay? Tell people how you feel, all right? Or to let go of something maybe that you had an emotional attachment to. Ask yourself, why do I have this habit? Right? Is it something that I need to let go, or do I need to have this conversation with somebody, or do I need to have this conversation with myself? There could be a releasing, maybe a crying. Okay. And sometimes when we cry, that doesn't mean that, it's bad. It could be a cry for no other reason, just while we're riding down the road and we hear a song, right? That touches our heart and it makes us kind of think back. And so maybe we needed to, just remember that and let that part of ourself go. Um, yeah. Make sure that you are being around some water, drinking water, lakes, crying, oceans. That would be a good astrological remedy for you to kind of let something go, but bring something in. So this shouldn't be too hard of a transit. but let's think about how we can bring more of what we value into our lives so that we can experience happiness every day. And it doesn't have to be something that we escape into or have to travel to because we don't have it right in front of us. Okay. All right, Aquarius, if you got something out of this, make sure that you like this video and that you share it with another Aquarius that you find in your life. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything that you need to detox from and how you would like to use this new moon to call in something else that could be hidden from you that's just waiting to appear once you let that thing go. And if you'd like a more personalized reading, please hit me up in the description box below. I would love to help you understand how these transits are going to be affecting you most personally. Happy new moon in Virgo, Aquarius. And last but not least, we have our beloved Pisces, our spiritual unicorns and magical creatures, with that which is not of this world. And you are having this astrological transit in the seventh house of relationships and justice and balance and hidden, I mean, and open enemies, but hopefully there's not going to be any open enemies, okay? And hopefully there's not going to be any new enemies coming in. This is a good time for you to be calling in new relationships, right? And if you are a single Pisces, this will be a good time for you to call in maybe some new relationships. But those new relationships don't have to just be romantic, okay? These relationships can be good work relationships. These relationships can be maybe I want to have a better relationship with certain family members and I'm going to let that go, okay? Or maybe there's going to be some, I'm not putting up with that anymore. And this is the new me. And this is how it's going to be. Okay. Because with this transit going on, with the North Node in your sign, it is a good time for you to possibly be speaking to others. You have these outer planets are affecting you in fire and air houses. And so, with this being in a seventh house with relationship, this could be a good time for you to be speaking to other people and maybe speaking to yourself. Are we spending too much time behind the screens or on the phone or on the television and we're using that to control our subconscious behaviors, right? Why do we do the things that we do? Why do we value the things that we do? Okay? And this is affecting, not only your home. Whoops. This is not only affecting your home, okay? This is a good astrological remedy for you Pisces, honestly. Subconsciously, okay? This is making a positive aspect to your home, okay? There could be an ending of a home or a letting go of a home or letting go of things in the home that no longer serve you. You've got to use this energy, all right, in your in what you value. You value activity. You value being in identity, being your warrior, taking action and exercise. That is what you value, okay? And so being active about cleaning out the home, being active about cleaning out the way you think in your mind, being active about letting go of things which no longer serve you in your mind and in your home in order to bring in that new thing. We can't bring in this new home. We can't bring in this new relationship if we don't let some things go. And letting go doesn't have to be, hard. It can, hopefully at this time, Pisces, maybe you are thinking like, I've had enough. I'm going to clean up this room because I want to be able to feel good in it again. And I can't think. You also could be possibly having dreams of relationships in the past, or dreams around how to have a better relationship with your health. Okay. This would be an excellent time to implement a good health practice and have a good relationship with that if you have not. Okay. Um, Talking to people, writing, journaling, speaking, singing. You control singing could help you. Something that I do around the house is I'll sing a mantra to myself like, I am organized, I am organized, I am disciplined, I am disciplined, or I can do it. I have energy. My home is clean. Okay. Think whatever you want, but then you have to be actionary around how you're doing that. Okay. That's what this is. That's what this is. And this is going to be with you for a while. Okay. Taking actionary steps around your home and around how you believe, and maybe some endings with um, a letting go of things which no longer serve, so that the new things can come in. Letting go doesn't have to be bad. Okay. You control letting go. You control letting go. So let's be in that. All right, Pisces, if you got something out of this, make sure that you like this video, share it with a fellow Pisces, comment below what you want your new manifestation to be. All right, because you're having this in the seventh house of relationships. Okay, doesn't mean relationship just with others. It can be relationship also with ourselves and our work. So calling in that. What else am I going to say? Oh, yeah. For a more personalized appointment, please hit me up in the description box below. Happy new moon in your opposite sign, Pisces. And I am going to be starting something called Earthy Girl Fitness. And next week, I'm going to be doing a back to school walk, and I'm going to be launching this in September. So make sure that you check me out on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. So if you are tired of the gym scene, I have been tired of the gym scene for a while. I have lived most of my life in the gym, making a good living for about 30 years, but now it's time to do something else. I love to be active. I just don't want to lift those weights anymore. That's what my Aries self did for a while. So I'm stepping more into my Taurus, and we are going to be going outside in nature and exercising that way in the woods, either with yoga or walking. So be looking from that. And, I need a break from technology. And sometimes if we have somebody to meet, we are more apt to be consistent with our habits of exercise and eating right. And you can meet a walking buddy on these walks. That's why I'm doing it, is because I need it too. So come walk with me in nature, and let's work on our internet and not our in we look well, let's work on our internet and not our internet. So for a personalized appointment, please visit me in the description box below. Check me out on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok if you would like a astrological reading with me. Thanks so much, everybody, and happy new moon in Virgo. I look forward to sharing this new moon with you. And please, let's just manifest away. This is a great time. You are being supported, and a letting go doesn't have to be hard. And we think about we're losing those one thing on the other side when these four things can be coming into us, but we got to be ready for it. Okay. All right, everybody. My name is Chrissy Smith. This is Nine Lives Energy, and together we energize your body from the inside out. Thanks so much. Happy new moon in Virgo.